Yeah, there we are. Hope you're all doing well. Um, I'm here from my van on the travels again. And let's see what the Twinflame journey has in store for us this week. When I was in meditation, I heard this shift from the last Monday till Wednesday. It was a huge and it was a heavy shift. It was really deep, and it also had still a connection with the eclipse. I'm just moving my camera a bit. Yeah, it still had to do with the eclipse. And in that case, a lot of old stuff being shifted within yourself. So let's see what it is for the divine masculine. And it said in my meditation, this youth shift gives you insights, but it also starts to align you with what you want, and who you want to be with. And those souls are communicating already with each other. So it is really important for you to recognize, the soul energies that you are connected with and that you're talking to. So for that, let's see what's going on in the divine feminine energy today, not only today, but for the upcoming week. Cosmic consciousness, your cosmic self. You are a cosmic being, and stay confident in your truth. So it could be that you are a bit, um, you know, that your ego is getting in the way, for the divine feminine. That you say, oh no, this is not going to work. Oh no, this is not the real thing. Oh no, we can talk really down on ourselves. Stop with talking down on yourself. Stop with creating doubt. Because what you create in your mind, that is also what you create within. And what you create within, that will be a reflection of your outside. So if there is frustration, or if there's anger, or if there's anything else that is misaligned actually with who you really are, and you are light and you are love, if you get misaligned with that, that's also what you attract on the outside world. So be your cosmic self. Be that authentic self, that light being that you are. Be in that space. And maybe if you start to doubt, if you start to think too much, then it's time to go within, and this shift that was there last week shifted that all out, out of your system, but it still comes up. It comes up to be seen. It comes up to shine light on it, and then then transmute it. You're your own transformation, and it's all up to you who you want to be. The realistic 3D is all an illusion. Everything actually is an illusion. The only truth is the love and the light. Um, because we are programmed, but we don't remember ourselves, how we were before we came here. So, and we only remember I think our memories are going back only to our fourth year. Everything before the fourth year can be blurry or can be erased because that's what the program wants. If you look at a baby is still connected with source. They know exactly who they are and what they want and what they need in their life, what is good for their soul. So they are not thinking yet. There is this energy going on that was in the former life, still connected with their former life. So, what's in the heart space of the divine feminine? Light language, universal language of the oneness that will help and support you. Love, listen with your heart. So that's what the my meditation also already said. You are recognizing each other, and um, this soul connection that you have with each other is actually really amazing. You know each other, you feel each other, you talk to each other through that light cord, and it's a universal light cord, and it's also light language. So you speak to each other in a light language that is connected in both souls. That is, both souls understand this huge energy that's going on, and it's a light language that is not be understood by the head, but it's understood by the heart. So if you are in connection with your soul partner or your twin flame, and you speak in light language, oh my gosh, they do understand what's being said to them, because those codes are only existing in that realm and can be understood by the soul. So if you speak the soul language and the light language towards your soul partner, they will understand, and that's really amazing. And that's not being done in in this world. It's been done in this world to raise the vibration, and to be able to communicate with that higher source. um, it's the language of the stars and the star beings. So they contain a lot of light, and bringing everything in existence. So it's coming from that heart, it's coming from that space of unconditional love, and it's the heart coherence that brings you together. Okay, listen with your heart, not with your mind, not with your ears, not with, you know, it's all in here. Time to restore divine feminine. And this, I felt this was a week, it was a busy week actually, with a lot of um, energy work, let's say it that. But because of the energies were so incredible, it was such a huge shift, and it all had to do with the eclipse. Everything eclipses out what no longer serves you, and source knows exactly what you need and what is needed for you, not what you want. What you want is being a choice by the mind, but what you need is being given by source. So restore. It was possible that you had to restore and let these energies come through your body, through your system, shifting, fasting, resting, and that was probably what was needed. Time out for you. Nurture yourself, and there are shamanic signs. All the shamanic signs are coming to you. If it comes in trees, if it comes in birds, if it comes in animals, if you see it on the road, maybe your clock is telling you exactly what you need to know through synchronicity and numbers. You can see light signs or stop signs that is really telling you, actually, okay, you have to stop now, you have to relax, you have to, pull over, put your car on the side and take a rest, because it's time. And that is all being given to you in signs by it's also beautiful. Rest with the dragon, you know the dragon will support you and restore your energy, so that's really really necessary for you. So it could be that you were really in that space of, I can relax here, I can breathe again. So for the divine masculine, Ellen of the Ways, attune to nature, signs to find your way. You will find the signs that will give your way, and follow your heart. So follow your heart, follow that sign, follow the signs of nature, follow the signs of what is given to you. So Ellen of the Ways is in tune with nature. You have the signs, you get the signs that you can find your way. And yeah, it's the path of the heart. When you follow the signs, you will be taken care of. Let's see what's in the heart space for the divine masculine. It's all has to do with earth, with nature, with what you need in your life, what is necessary for you to restore, or to create. Heaven on earth in the heart space for the divine masculine. All are invited. Fifth dimensional, new earth, and spirit and matter. So you bring spirit into matter, and it could be that it's creativity, it's music, it's you're working with your hands, creating new energies of a higher vibration. Maybe it is that you adjust things a little bit, to give it a more higher vibration. And everybody is invited in the fifth dimensional realm, in that fifth and in that new earth. And in that new earth, you can create everything what you want, and you can materialize it, into your existence. And that's what the divine masculine does at the moment. And that's really amazing. And that's for him or her, heaven on earth. It's heaven on earth, creating things, to make things beautiful, to give it a meaning. And it could not just be a meaning for himself, but also a meaning for someone else that resonates with it. And there are so many people, that resonate with each other at this moment. It's incredible. A few years ago, it was just pick out, make your choice, and that's it. And now the choices are made from the heart, where it's resonating, where it's in alignment with each other, supporting and helping each other. You know, ha, here we have divine masculine is observing. You know, loving eyes see all, see the truth, and that's what you do. You take, maybe you take a little bit of a step back and see, well, I need to observe this. Is that person really who they say they are? Are they doing the things that they are doing? You know, there is a lot of, um, I hear steadiness, a lot of grounded energy, because that spiritual energy is being grounded, you know, into the earth, into matter. And there is also, is this person okay? Is this person stable? I need to see, I need to observe, I need to see what I see with my eyes, what I feel with my heart. You know, I need to see if that is in alignment with all that I am. And um, and that is what happens. Then it's the whole, it has the heart, you know, it had the light, the light in the heart, and everything, what the divine masculine does is coming from that heart space, you know, it's coming from that light. And he sees the truth, he starts to see the truth, because sometimes when you see just with your heart, you know, you can be deceived, right? Because you want to see the good in all people, and not all people are you. So or they speak the same heart language like you. They're coming from a different frequency. So that is what you need to, you know, observe. Oh, maybe I need to hold a little bit back, you know. I feel that energy of yes going forward, but then also from, oh, I need to take a step back because I don't really want to mess this up. So then the observing is coming in. It's the owl energy, you know, seeing the things in the dark. What is in the darkness? What is your shadow? What is um, driving you know? And I had this amazing line of Oscar Wilde. He said, saints have a past, sinners have a future. That's such an amazing line. It's really amazing line. And if you know the meaning behind it, it's really incredible. It's really incredible. So I would say Google on it and find out the meaning of it. Yeah, really, really impressive what the divine masculine and the divine feminine are doing at the moment. You know, they are really in. Oh, my spirit guides are here. Thank you. Um, yeah, what they are doing together and what they're doing in separation, what they're doing on their own, you know, it's really remarkable. And they do it on different ways. Um, but that's the beauty of it, because you know the masculine is not a feminine and the feminine is not a masculine. So, and sometimes, you know, the feminine is in the masculine energy, by taking action, maybe doing the things all by herself, and maybe did a long time, you know, in this modern time where everything needs to be equal, you know, and the feminine had more tasks, at the moment. So they move into their masculine energy, and they had to reprogram themselves, to take a step back, and to not to take too much action, but be in that feminine energy, not organizing everything, for everyone. It's not that's the mother energy. You can invite people, you can say, oh, this and that, but don't take action for them. So you say, okay, I will do this or I will do that. That's the masculine's energy. So yeah, it's really thinking about, what is your feminine essence, what do you want, what do you want to learn, being creative, making stuff for yourself. um, wow, that really connects you with your feminine energy. And yeah, there's so many ways, what is happening for the divine feminine. um, let's see, what is the divine masculine saying of the divine in the divine feminine about her cosmic being. What is he saying about that? You know, your cosmic being. What are his thoughts about it? Initiation. And he sees that the divine feminine goes through an initiation, or had an initiation, as being a cosmic being. And because she has deep trust, there's deep healing going on, and reconnecting with all. It could be that the divine masculine was off his path for a while, and he got the initiation of trusting. Learn to trust. And I think that was a very, um, for the uh, exactly for the divine feminine, a thing, you know, because the divine masculine wasn't the divine masculine, but was more in his inner child wounds, or and still carry them around. Not all, I say, no, not all men, but there are a lot of men that are still having those wounds, and they need that reassurance from the mother. They need that mother energy around them, to feel nurtured, or feel, um, how do I say, uh, to get that unconditional love. And it was hard for the divine feminine, um, to trust that energy, because in that energy of still being the child instead of the masculine, you know, she couldn't trust, because he couldn't be there for her in the way she needed to be. He needed to be. Let's say it like that. He couldn't take care of the things that she needed, because he was there were still too many wounds within the masculine that needed that nurturing energy from the feminine, from the mother. And you know the phrase, that a lot of feminine said, well, I don't have three children, I have four children, and the masculine couldn't show up for the divine feminine how she to be needed to be supported. And it's not a fault of either of them. It's how it grew, how it is um, programmed that way. Could also be that the mother was very attached, to the children, and is not able to let go um, and then she is not in her feminine role. She is um, in the masculine demanding role, and then you get masculine, feminine, all these energies getting mixed up together, and then you getting distorted relationships. And that was very hard for the divine feminine to trust the masculine to be able to be there for her. That was her initiation, the initiation of the divine feminine to start trusting that the men that are coming into her life at this time and this moment are able to give her what she needs because they see, they observe, and they know exactly what she needs. And that comes from a heart to heart understanding, a heart to heart connection. So, and the divine feminine or the divine masculine in the divine feminine sees that she is connecting with all, not just with Mother Nature, from heart. You know, she is from heart and she sees what something else is needed, what people need, what sometimes it's just um, an arm around the shoulders or a hug or you know people needed to speak their their journey or their pain or their troubles, and she's there for them. So she is raised, but that was a huge initiation for the divine feminine, and the divine masculine is seeing this. And it could be that the divine masculine also goes through his own initiations, you know, in his heart space, how he sees the divine feminine is the well of dreams, um, creation, vision, messages, um, and dissolving of the veil. There is bliss and there are dreams. And in the well of dreams, you know, it's the turtle. You know, the turtle always goes slow, but he sees the light in the darkness. So it is that he is seeing her light language. He is seeing her connection. And he said, oh my gosh, that is amazing. That's divine feminine is coming from that creation. She creates herself and she has those visions and messages straight from source. And that is dissolving the veil, you know, make it, don't keep it in a secret anymore, you know, just share and feel that bliss that is within the divine feminine. And he connects with her in dreams. Maybe they share the same dreams, that's also possible. But he sees her in her light, he sees her in her light language, in her oneness, you know, in love. So he has, maybe he has his own well of dreams that is including the divine feminine in union. You know, you never know, you know. And that's what they say, you know, trust. That's what I heard in my meditation also. Don't start into that doubt, but have that trust. And that you feel that in your heart space that there is that trust. Maybe your trust is violated, you know, in other timelines. So that takes a while before you start to trust again. And it's really interesting. I always say I trust in the gods and in the goddess also very, very much. And that I say, nobody comes close to the God I know up there. Nobody knows that God so well as he shows me in his creation, through my heart. And here on earth, I haven't met anyone yet, that um, matched that energy. And I know that he's out there. I know that there is something brewing. I know that there is that energy flowing because I have that connection in the fifth dimensional realm. So yeah, are you close to God? Are you close to nature? Are you close with all things? You know, then I know that it I trust. That's probably the trust of everyone. In that energy of restore, there's a storm. That's very interesting because that storm is also the energy that comes in. Like um, distraction from the outside world. You know, and it's okay to feel it all. If you're going through the energy shifts and they eclipsing everything out of your life, you know, that can create some things in your life, and you want to hold on to it, and you say no, and they say no, that's not for your highest good, it needs to eclipse out. That can create a storm, and that will mess up your restoration. It will mix up your rest, and you can feel it, and you can clear it. And it's okay, because those things you're clearing out is not only for you. You're doing it for the whole collective, because you're connected to that collective. And where the collective is going through, even in the realm, if you feel there's something going on in the realm, because you are so in tune, you will feel it. And that can actually disrupt everything you're doing. And they just say, okay, time to restore, time to take time out, because they don't let you. And that can be creating a storm. It's the collapsing of the old, what's happening. And there is a realignment coming your way. So everything what you think, it's disturbing my life, it's disruptive, you know that it's realigning you for everything else. It's a huge cleanse that is happening at this moment. um, all old systems are have to leave or have to go. you know there is a new realignment coming for you this upcoming week, and it's just restore. It's needed to take the time out if there is such a huge shift going on. Maybe you need to sleep more, maybe you have to take a nap in between. Maybe you're overreacting. Then you also know, okay, I need to step back. I need to have more rest, because I'm never in that energy that can disrupt my peace. And when something is happening in that kind of way, you know that you need, it's a sign from the universe to say you need more rest. Okay, you need to indulge, and you need to go back inwards. So that is what is happening at the moment. So what is the divine feminine seeing about the divine masculine within? What is... again, the rainbow child. She sees the rainbow child in the divine masculine. He's unstoppable. He's a new earth builder. He is multi-talented. And there is a miraculous alchemy here. He alchemizes everything what is in his world. He knows how to manifest. He knows how to accomplish it. He has this enormous energy, and he works on that new earth. And maybe you're on this verge, you know, of that you say, oh, I need something new, I need something different, I need something else. And it all is possible. But don't do over rational things, you know. Don't do the things out of haste, you know. Take a little bit more time on it, because what you're doing, you're unstoppable. You are taking care of so many people. You're taking care of their mental health. You're taking care of their physical health. You're taking care of everything else, you know, around it. And that's because you can do so much, because you're multi-talented. You know, you can't do one thing. You're not concentrating on one thing. You're able, and you have this energy from source, that you can do multiple things, you know, in a short amount of time. So you're this wizard that just take his wand out, you know, and create it in so many new things, so many new projects, so many new activations. And the divine feminine is seeing that. You know, she's honoring you for that you do all that you all hold that space together, you know, for not only for yourself, but also for other people, and still be that joyful you. And yeah, it's really beautiful how to see that um, that energy, what the rainbow children are carrying, you know, is needed for this world. So if you building on your new earth, you know, and you get those energies like, oh, I'm giving up, then you need rest. You know, then you need rest, and then you need to overthink, because it could be that you're overtired, other energies are coming in, pulling on your, other spirits are coming in, pulling on your energy, and they want to have you into a different direction, you know. But what is in your heart? What does your heart want? You know, because you're building on that new earth, and it's not one or the other. You see that in this card, you know. Divine feminine sees that, you know. It's not just one thing. There are multiple things that you can do, and contain this, and do this, and contain that, and do that. You know, you can work in most unexpected ways. That's what I hear. So that's really beautiful. What else is in the heart space? Breathing. That's what the divine feminine says about the heaven on earth. Don't forget to breathe. Take breathing time before they stop you. uh, ground, feel your feelings, your sensational, your purity, your clarity, and you are working on expansion. And that expansion is also coming in from source, and that's what the divine feminine sees. She said, oh my gosh, take time for yourself and breathe, you know, get that. If you want that energy expanding and you want to make it bigger, you know, you want to have more energy, start doing your breathing exercises, because breathing exercises is so important for your spiritual work, but also for your longevity in your cells and in your body, in your organs. So take a step back and start to breathe. Breathe in that good air prana, baby. Yeah, it's really amazing what it's how you can do all of this. But you need also time, you know, to create that heaven on earth for yourself. And you are also connected to that fifth dimensional realm, where they say everyone is welcome. You know, everybody can be in that fifth dimensional space, and I invite you in. And that is also what you're doing. You're very aware of everything, and sometimes the divine feminine also need to trust on the divine masculine's judgment. That's what I that's what I hear, because it could be that she is seeing so many good in people and in things, what's happening, and then divine masculine says, no, I don't feel it that way. You know, it could be something you need to open your eyes for. And then the five feminine will say, yeah, but. And then she gets the confirmation. And then when she gets the confirmation, she said, ooh, I also need to trust on the divine masculine's view on what he sees of what he felt, you know, and not just, and that's the masculine in the divine feminine, that that's the kind of stubborn energy, like I did it all my life all by myself, and now you know, you have to trust on somebody else. Yeah, sometimes they see the things very clear. So when you get that confirmation, you know, then it's you start to laugh about it. You say, oh yeah, you're right. You know, they showed me the confirmation is what it is. Okay, travel. Divine feminine sees that the divine masculine is ready for travel. Inner and outer journeys. He's traveling with his dragon, and his dragon is saying, hey buddy, climb up my back and I will show you the world. I will show you what's more in store for you. That's what the divine feminine sees with the divine masculine. That's why she also sees, you know, you're unstoppable, you're multitasking, you know, building on that new earth, but you can do, it's not one or the other. You can have it all. So that's really important to know. When you are aligned with your highest source, you also will receive what you need in your life. So and they guide you actually towards these energies what you need. So um, believe in yourself, believe in the universe, believe in the spirits that you're working with, that is showing you the places that you need to be at a certain time. And even if there it scares you, or you have a limitation on it, or you're saying, I don't know, just take out the confirmation, take out that courage and go there. That's really important. um, and there are some huge shifts to be made for you, and that's because the divine feminine is observing the observer. Isn't that amazing? She is observing the observer. She knows exactly what's going on in that heart space. She knows exactly what's going on with the divine masculine. So she's seeing, you're probably traveling a lot, or on the move a lot. So she says, take also time and attention for your inner journeys. Don't block it out with substances that can block your vision, that can block your intuition, that can block your creativity. You know, that's hmm, that's an interesting one, because sometimes we use foods or use substances that can really block our intuition, can block our visions, and because you're dealing with other spirits, uh, actually, other energies that are not working with you but want to work against you to be able to manifest what you want to manifest. So there is a lot going on in the realm at the moment, but keep your frequency high, keep that purity intact, and move on. Let's see what the universe is saying about the divine feminine and the divine masculine. You are blue ray beings. There is a direct divine expansion going on in both of you. Bridge between dimensions. So you are creating bridges through the different dimension, and that's for both of you. So know that you are this amazing blue ray being, and that you're working with that energy, and that you are connected to source. Maybe you're a Palladian being, and going and reach that higher source. So yeah, you're anchoring it into this world, and keep that energy going. Don't doubt yourself. Don't go in that energy of lack or doubt, or uh, you know everything we can talk about. It's the trust. Maybe you admire the trust in the divine feminine, that she has such confirmation, that she has such a strong trust in the divine, and that everything what she is undertaking, everything what she's doing, it's from fulfillment, and that she received the things that she needs to receive. And maybe she's an inspiration for you. So that can also be for the divine masculine. He can be an inspiration for you to see how you get things into matter. So that's really amazing. And I keep it to that. And shine your Blu-ray beings out there. Spread out those Blu-rays and shine your light, and keep on moving forward, and shine your light. All the love, all the blessings. See you next time. Bye bye.